Okay, so have you ever sort of paused, wondering whether it's some information or maybe any information,
Oh, yeah.
or gotten tangled up with much traffic versus many cars?
Absolutely. That little hesitation, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
Right.
This deep dive is all about quantifiers in English. Those little words telling us how much or how many.
And the goal here is just to make using them feel a bit more automatic, less like you're taking a grammar test every time you speak.
Exactly. More like second nature.
Because, I mean, think about it. These aren't some abstract rules tucked away in a book. We use these constantly. How much coffee you've had, how many emails are piled up,
How much time you need for something?
even how many friends are coming over for dinner.
Yeah.
It's everywhere in daily life.
It really is.
So let's kick off with a classic pair. Some and any. What's really going on there? What's the difference in, how we actually use them?
Well, the main difference often, it kind of comes down to let's say, the vibe of the sentence.
The vibe, okay.
Yeah. We generally use some in positive statements, like, I've got some good news.
Okay.
And also in questions where, we're kind of expecting or maybe hoping for a yes. Something like, would you like some coffee?
Oh, right. Because you're offering it, you assume they might want it.
Exactly. It suggests existence, availability.
Okay, that feels pretty intuitive. Some is sort of positive, affirmative. So where does any fit in then?
So any is usually your go-to for negative sentences. I don't have any cash on me.
Right. No cash. Any. Right.
And it's also common in questions that are more open-ended, maybe just exploring possibilities. Are there any questions? Or do you have any idea?
So if there's negativity, or if the question is really open, maybe leans towards a no or I don't know answer.
That's often when any feels right.
Yeah.
Think of it like you're casting a wider net, checking if something exists at all.
Casting wider net. I like that. Okay. Now, what about much and many? That's another pair that definitely trips people up. What's the secret there?
The key here really is countability. Can you easily count the individual things you're talking about?
Okay.
Yes, like songs, people, mistakes, use many.
Hmm.
Many songs, many people, how many mistakes?
So if I can stick a number on it, 1 song, 5 people, 2 mistakes, then many is probably the way to go.
That's it, precisely.
Mhm.
And much is for the things we don't typically count individually. Stuff like information, happiness, traffic.
Ah, okay. The uncountables.
Right. You say much information, not much happiness, too much traffic. It's more about a general amount, not separate items.
Got it. Countable, many. Uncountable, much. Simple enough when you put it like that, but then what about a lot of? It seems to work everywhere. A lot of traffic, a lot of cars.
Yeah, a lot of is wonderfully flexible. That's a good word for it.
Right.
It works perfectly fine with both countable nouns like your cars and uncountable nouns like the traffic.
So it's kind of a useful backup if
Yeah.
you're drawing a blank on much or many.
Definitely. It conveys a large quantity pretty clearly.
Hmm.
And you don't have to worry so much about the uncountable distinction in the moment. It's a great all-rounder.
So is there ever a reason not to just default to a lot of? Any downsides?
Well, maybe not downsides, but nuances. Sometimes using much and many can sound a touch more formal.
Ah, okay.
So maybe in more formal writing or presentation, you might lean towards them.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to be really precise about quantity,
You mean like smaller amounts?
exactly, or specific small amounts, you might choose something like several, or a few, or a little. Saying I have few options feels different, maybe more serious than just I don't have a lot of options.
Right. It adds a subtle shade of meaning. It's not just about getting it right, but about the specific feel you want.
Precisely.
Okay, let's quickly recap then. So some, generally for positives and offers, any for negatives, and those open, maybe uncertain questions. Many for things you can count, much for stuff you generally don't count. And a lot of is that really useful, flexible one for large quantities of either type.
That sums it up nicely. And honestly, just getting more comfortable noticing if a noun is usually treated as countable or uncountable, that's the big step for mastering much and many.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully this little deep dive has cleared up some confusion around those tricky quantifiers. Maybe you're feeling a bit more confident using them now.
Absolutely. These small tweaks in your word choice, they can really make your communication clearer, more precise, whether you're just chatting about your day or, making important requests.
Definitely. So now that you've spent some time thinking about these quantifiers with us, what other small, seemingly simple words in English sometimes make you pause, maybe give you a moment's thought?
Yeah, that's a great question.
There's a whole world of tiny but mighty words out there, isn't there? Something to ponder.